Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to Here to Bloom. This is episode number 21. My name is Deidrey Francois, and this is a sacred place for seekers and learners just like you and me. This is the place where hearts unite as one. Doubt and fear are gone. A place where all are welcome. This is our place. In one power we believe. As we give, love will receive. Our sacred place. Where all are welcome. We're all welcome. This is our place. In one power we believe. As we give, love will receive. Our sacred place. If you know it, sing it with me. Sacred place. Sacred place. United in love. United in love. Spirit as one forever, forever. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for your presence here today. Thank you. Hi, Noreen. Hi, Ann. I'm so glad that you are here with me. Hi, Yvonne. You know, you are the reason that I keep going. Thank you to all who participated last week. Thank you for your comments and your shares. And as usual, speaking of shares, I need your help. La, 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 la. If you could, hit that share button on your screen. Just take a moment and maybe invite a friend or so. Or post the show on your page, on your Facebook page. It would mean the absolute world to me. Please do check out my website. My website at www.deidrey.com, where you will find all kinds of great musical content, including this show, Here to Bloom, and of course there's Sofa Songfest as well. I also offer, Here to Bloom, of course, is every Sunday at 1:30. And I also offer a few other services like virtual concerts and performances. I also do virtual retirement homes and private parties, as well as singing telegrams. And if you know of any opportunity where I can serve, I also do weddings. I do all kinds of things. Please do share my information with someone. Reach out to me. Let me know who I can bring some musical joy to. Of course, there's Facebook as well. If you have not yet hit that follow or like button on Facebook, I encourage you to do so. There's all kinds of goodies there. I also let you know about my tomapo that's growing in my backyard. I have lots of other, maybe a little bit more intimate stories there. So please do join. And of course, we're celebrating something. If you have not yet checked out YouTube, I know some of you are on there right now because I can see your comments. But for those of you that are watching that are not leaving your comments, I acknowledge you and I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much for tuning into YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, and any comments that you make, please you can leave some in the live section, but also leave a comment at the bottom of the video where, that's public, so that, because that part really does help me in terms of establishing my status, I guess, on YouTube. And guess what? We hit a milestone. It's time to celebrate. Woohoo! Come on now. Oh my goodness. We hit 600 subscribers. It is absolutely worth celebrating. And of course, now, guess what? I have my next goal is 700. Yay, 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 to reach some subscribers that are like-minded folks just like you and me. So I encourage you to share me as much as possible and then post, your comments. Let me know how you feel about the show. Let me know what you would like me to speak on or sing on. If you have an idea for a show or a song or something that you would like, please share with me because I can't do this alone. I do need you. And just to mention that all songs that you hear on this show are all written by me unless I state so otherwise. Now, I wanted to take a moment before I state my intention to acknowledge a few of you. And I may not get everybody's name, but I wanted to acknowledge Margaret and Noreen and Heather Vick, and then there's Janice and Emmanuel, and my very own mom, Leonise Francois. I wanted to acknowledge them because it is their birthday. And so we want to make sure that we sing a happy birthday to them. So if you would just join me in wishing them a happy birthday. Hi, Margaret. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you. I am so grateful to each and every one of you that keep joining. And I know if I don't get all of the birthdays of the wonderful people that have birthdays in August, please know that I acknowledge you, I love you, I appreciate you, and a happy birthday to all of the August babies. Alrighty? Let's keep going. Thank you so much, everybody. It is my intention to share my gift of song and poetry, my love and my passion. Let it be done without judgment. Let it be done in humility and grace, and let it be done in love and light. And know that what I offer are my experiences, the readings that I've read along the way, and the little bit of, the little tidbits that I've picked up along the way. This one is called Spread the Love Around. Here we go. Spread the love around. Spread the love around. Spread it high, spread it wide. Fill the sky to the ground. We're going to spread the peace now. Spread the peace around. Spread the peace around. Spread it high. Spread it high. Spread it wide. Fill the sky to the ground. We're going to spread the joy now. Spread the joy around. Come on now. Spread the joy around. Spread it high. Spread it wide. Fill the sky. We're going to spread that love again. Spread the love around. Spread the love around. Spread it high, spread it wide. Fill the sky to the ground. Oh, you're absolutely welcome, Noreen. And absolutely, Therese, we sang a happy birthday to Heather just now. So yeah, definitely acknowledging Heather's birthday. Well, on November 23rd, there was a global TV global news aired a story of a man called Dan and this little tiny 4-year-old called NORA. And Dan Peterson had lost his wife, Mary. He fell into a very deep depression, and he had lost the desire to live. And in an interview with CBS, this 82-year-old Georgia man said that he would spend his days just kind of staring out of his window at squirrels, just sitting there waiting to die. After about 6 months after Mary's death, he was out doing something he absolutely hated, which is grocery shopping. And as he passed other people, and I'm sure, like, I don't like clothes shopping. Like, I don't like going to a mall. To me, that is just, I hate it, okay? I don't like it. So I know what he feels like about grocery shopping, because I love grocery shopping, but I hate mall shopping. Anyway, as he's passing around, he passes other people. One person reaches out her hand and says, "Hi, old person." It's my birthday today. And that was little tiny Nora. Nora was a 4-year-old girl who decided that she wanted to be his friend. And she demanded a hug for her birthday and a photo, no doubt. She wanted to take a picture of them together to mark their special friendship. Dan fell instantly in love with this little one, and he gave in to Nora's demand for a hug, and of course, a friendship was born. Now, Nora gets to see him once a week, and it's funny, when they asked Dan about his life, he explains how Nora, this tiny stranger of an angel and a teacher, gave him back his life. Gave him purpose, for now he had something to live for. And now he says, I have to be there to see her grow up. It is said by Wes Stafford that every child you encounter is a divine appointment. Every child you encounter is a divine appointment. Today's theme is Tiny Teachers. This one is called Through the Eyes of an Innocent Child. Let me live from a love-filled heart. Let me speak, being kind from the start. Let me love uninhibited and wild. Let me see through the eyes of an innocent child. Let me see, open my eyes to see. Let me learn with a curious mind. Let me walk, leaving no one behind. Let me laugh till the lines are etched upon my face. Let me forgive in gratitude and grace. Let me listen without the need to advise. Let me have faith, make any mountain rise. Share my joy and dance in the rain. Let me feel everything, even the pain. Let me forgive, open my mind to forgive. Let me feel, open my heart to feel. Let me live from my love-filled heart. an innocent child. Let me see through the eyes of an innocent child. Let me see through the eyes of an innocent child. You know, for Dan, this innocent, divine appointed teacher, divinely appointed teacher, was literally a life raft as he drowned in grief, in his own grief and loneliness. This little tiny, barely just arrived person on this plane gave him his life back. And I think it's a beautiful, heartwarming story of friendship, but it also provides great insight on the gift or the divine intervention that children can be in our lives, no matter whose child they are, or really how old they are. You know, as I went through my own ordeal here with my health and mobility in the past few months, I have come to see my children differently. I learned a few things from them. Things I knew before, but and a lot of things just affirming for me too. And I learned to recognize love in many of them in the way that it presented itself. You know, one of them became kind of like a sergeant, and she would look for cues no matter how hard I would try to hide my own distress or my own, you know, I'm fine, everything's great, right? But she seemed to be able to tune in, and she paid attention. She's kind of really a nurturer, and knew exactly when to get what I needed, and was always ready. She just paid attention to cues. Another was, she's sort of my hug and kiss teddy bear, you know, giving me the affection that, you know, I need. And she just cuddles and she nuzzles and she just gives more and more and more and more. I don't even have to ask for that physical connection, you know, that hug's always just sort of there waiting. And then my other child was sort of my checkup on me person, you know. I call, and he's there, you know. And what I found really interesting was that he gave me the space that I needed, you know, to just make me feel like Mom's really has control over all of this. Yes, you've got this, Mom. You know, that feeling of, yes, you are independent, but I'm here to help you. And so I learned to pay attention and to observe and to allow their gifts of love into my heart in a more wholesome way, I think. In fact, I think that children teach us the meaning of unconditional love. Would you agree with that? That they really do teach us what unconditional love means. Because, you see, the idea of God, as much as it is incorporated in all of our lives, and as much as we are aware of it, and you know, the presence of the divine, we really, I think, don't get to understand it and really take it in until we learn to love a child. And it doesn't matter if it's your own child. As long as you learn what that love is, I think you know what God is, you know? And that kind of love that God has for us, which is a love that has no borders and boundaries. You know, we love our children no matter how many times they falter, how many mistakes they make, no matter how many times they tell us that they hate us, or how many times we make regrettable remarks. We learn that true love is more than any one of us. That it's more than a feeling, that somehow it surpasses all understanding, and it happens within our hearts, within our souls, within our minds, and it just blossoms with time. It is everlasting good and wholesome, you know. Unconditional love, simply put, is God in expression, expressing as us and within us. I know I am surrounded by love. I know I am surrounded by kindness. I know I am surrounded by peace now and forever. I know I am surrounded by joy. I know I surrounded by gladness, and I can sing with confidence that I am a child of God. I am a child filled with the light of God. I am a child filled with the love of God. Oh, I am a child filled with the grace of God. I am a child. Yes, I am a child of God. I know I am surrounded by truth. I know I am surrounded by goodness. I know I am surrounded by grace now and forever. I know I am surrounded by hope. I know I am surrounded by happiness, and I can sing with confidence that I am a child of love. Oh, I am a child filled with the light of God. I am a child filled with the love of God. Oh, I am a child filled with the grace of God. I am a child. Yes, I am a child of God. Come on now. Filled with the light. Yes, I am filled with the love. Filled with grace. Yes, I'm deep in God's Spirit. Oh, filled with the light. Filled with love. Filled with grace. Yes, I'm deep in the Spirit. Oh, I am a child filled with the light of God. I am a child filled with the love of God. Oh, I am a child filled with the grace of love. I am a child. You know, I am a child of love. I am a child, oh, filled with the light of love and God. I am a child filled with the love of God. Oh, I am a child filled with the grace of God. I am a child. Yes, I am a child of God. I am a child. Yes, I am a child of love. You know what? We all are children of love. We all are children of light and grace. We just are. I think sometimes we just forget about it, you know? We forget that. Kathleen Pulsifer says that children are the past, present, and future. And if you want to see how you live your life, just observe your children's behaviors. Children are our mirrors. You know, I remember my little ones mimicking my behaviors, and some of them were just adorable. You're like, oh my God, you know, like pretending to speak on the phone, you know. She, you know, like, I think it was Deidrey that used to do that. So she would have her, you know, a notepad and then be like, has her phone and listening, and then she'd be making notes. I think she was probably only maybe 4 or so, or 5. And then, of course, some other behaviors just made me cringe, like, you know, yelling at the teddy bears for not listening. And I learned how to change my idea of discipline as I watched myself act it out in my children's eyes. And I learned how to be gentle and still get to the point without resorting to anger and shaming and guilt. You know, it was all that I knew when I started, but my children sort of brought to light, brought that to light and really gave me the opportunity to change me. My children challenged me in the present to change and to continuously improve upon those changes, because of course, we don't just do one thing and we do it right all the time. It's always a continuous improvement, right? Not only, so now when I look at my children, I see a future of empowered adults, I see not only in them, but also a new me emerging from a lot of the patterns that I think were not necessarily working for me before. My children are not only, okay, that's not the right song. My children are not only here we go. My children are not only the future, but they helped me to shape mine. So here's a beautiful song by Whitney Houston that I think is speaks to that, just perfectly. It's called The Greatest Love of All. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I've never found anyone who fulfilled my need. It's a lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. Well, I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love boy. It has been a long time since I've heard this song. Oh my. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. Well, my children have always been a great inspiration for me. Actually, Wayne Dwyer says this. He says, my children have always been great inspiration for me and great teachers and keep me very close to the ground and very humble. It's true. Children do keep us close to the ground. You know, we do wear so many faces for so many reasons, for so many different people, and for so many different situations. We think that we have to be organized all the time, proper all the time. We have to be serious. You know, we got to do the adult. We have to be adulting. And adulting is serious work. You know, we make everything a big deal that we think will earn us status or popularity or friends. Children have a beautiful way of demolishing all of that concept of perfection, don't they? Little ones are snotty, messy, smelly, drooling, farting, burping bundles of deliciousness. You know, they eat messy, their drinks slide down the sides of their faces. They don't care if they're well coordinated. They don't care if anything is in fashion. They don't care about impressing anyone. They're just being themselves, and we can learn a whole lot from that, you know? Why are we so easily moved by the criticism and negativity of others that we feel that we need to strive to fit into someone else's idea of who we should be? You know, my kid wasn't always well coordinated, but she loved her socks, you know, and it never mattered if it matched. As a matter of fact, as long as she had her socks and a diaper, she was fully dressed by her standards. You know, a couple of years ago, her grandma asked her my mom asked her what her favorite things in the world were. And she said, well, there's 3 things. And she said, it's socks, cereal, and Nutella. It's funny, you know. It takes such a, you know, it's just so simple. Like, they make life so simple. Socks, cereal, and Nutella. For us, it's like, well, you know, I need to have, you know, this happen in my life. I have to achieve this big thing, and I have to, you know, reach at this level. And it's like, why? It's funny. It takes a long time before kids can do anything fully for themselves. And yet, they are more, and yet they are more free. They are freer than any of us adults. Can you believe that? They are freer than any of us adults. Because we focus too much on the appearance of perfection. You see, children see us. They see the naked version of us without all the accessories. They see the freedom that we were before we started listening to the world. This is what little NORA saw in Dan. It didn't matter that he was older. She saw the child. She saw the freedom that he was before he became this, you know, old man that was sad and grieving and lonely and depressed. They see us dancing long after we put away our dancing shoes. They see us singing long after the choir's gone home. Why don't we see ourselves through their eyes? Why don't we laugh and smile and be playful, for heaven's sakes? Why don't we feel more joy? Why? I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. Yes, I'm so happy, so very happy. Well, I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. joy, down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy that I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. Yes, I'm so happy, so very happy that I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Come on now, where? Down in my heart. What you say now? Down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I have got the love of Spirit in my heart. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so very happy that I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. This song was written by George William Cooke way back in 1925. Can you believe it? Speaking of joy and laughter and feeling the joy, Noreen is here today. Say hi, Noreen. Noreen is the author of this book here, and it's called Living in Joy. Creating positive change, one small glorious step at a time. And Noreen and I will be hosting, Noreen's hosting actually for me. Thank you so much, Noreen. I love you. A Feel the Joy dance party workshop style concert tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we would absolutely love it if you would join us. There is a love offering, and if you are in Canada, we prefer that if you e-transfer. If you are in the US of A, please contact Noreen. And so if you can check that out. There'll be a link. Oh, there she is. The email's right there for you if you would like to participate. Alrighty, and it would be awesome to have you. Okay, so it is already clear that children learn from us, right? It's already clear. We already know that. We are the teachers. We are their teachers. We are their guides. We are counselors. I mean, my gosh, the amount of things that we have to do and be for these lovely little ones. We are pastors and friends and entertainment. We are entertainment for them too. But there are more things that we can learn from these tiny teachers through their actions, because they teach us how to heal. You know, I was having a really difficult time when my children were tiny. You know, things were kind of tough. And I remember driving one day, probably I was heading to the grocery store because that was my favorite thing to do. And we had probably just made it down the road when they started to nag about something. I have no idea what they were asking for, but I just remember that I was just so overwhelmingly angry that I just let out this yell, and it seemed to come from my feet and all the way up through me like some kind of rabid lion. And it was just like utter shock for a while. You know, for a moment, my kids just all stopped and they all looked at me, and then they just started crying. And I pulled over into a nearby park, and in that moment, after I took a deep breath, I mean, I was just shaking like a leaf. I was just so angry, and I thought, why am I yelling at them? Am I even angry at them? And I apologized to my children, and I said to them that I promised that I would never, ever, ever do this to them again. And I never have. I learned how easily, what they taught me in that moment, and what I learned about myself was how easily it is that we can lose control, you know? I made the changes that I needed to learn to manage my own anger, because I needed to ask myself some questions. I learned to distinguish between my children's behavior and the person. and to deal with changing the behavior and not the person. I learned that just because they are there, just because they are around me, does not mean that they are a safe place for me to vent. I learned that it is a good thing to apologize, and it is actually a gift that I give not only to myself but to my children. They learn that it is okay to not be perfect. They learn that, we all make mistakes. It's okay and it's okay that we are vulnerable. Through that exchange, they learned that vulnerability and the willingness to make mistakes and admit them actually builds characters of emotional fortitude with deep compassion and empathy. And I learned also from them that I needed to get over things. And I also noted that I needed to, ask, why am I angry? Identifying the reason behind the anger as opposed to just focusing on the anger itself. I learned that, now the getting over things thing, I'm still working on that, just so you know. I am working on it. I have learned, though, that, I can move through hurts a lot quicker than before. So, after, and I learned that after, the whole apology and promise thing. This was a song that I wrote to my children, probably around that time. Lydia was a tiny baby. And if you hear any cooing in there, that would be Lydia. She was only probably a month, or I don't remember how old she was, but just maybe a little under 4 months maybe she was. And she was in the studio with me in doing the recording. Here's Mother's Love.
Father, Lord, I lift my hands in praise to honor you and thank you for your blessings. Lord, I thank you for my child. You have blessed me with a child. Ooh, I thank you. A mother's life is full of sacrifice. I wonder how Mary found her strength, but in you is where mine lies. I take a cloud to dry her tears, brave life's cliffs to calm his fears, and if I had to, I'd give up my own life to save my child. A mother's love, my mother's love, my love for my children is comforting and wonderful, a soft embrace, a shield from pain, protection from life's storms. Our joy is in the laughter that we bring, the comfort of knowing that Mother is the meaning of life. Father, Lord, it's so hard to express the fears I feel and others feel when parenting. Am I giving all they need? Will their lives be fulfilling? Ooh. we fail, sometimes we hurt our precious ones. Give us strength and mercy too. Oh, we place our faith in you. Please keep us on the path we know we can't go wrong. This is our prayer to you. A mother's love, my mother's love, my love for my children is comforting, wonderful, a soft embrace, a shield from pain, protection from life's storms. Our joy is in the laughter that we bring, the comfort of knowing that mother is the meaning of love. Who could predict we would be so important? Who knew we had to be mother, teacher, counselor, and friend, entertainer for our little ones, a soft place to follow. Our joy is in the laughter that we bring, the comfort of knowing that mother is the meaning of love. Our joy is in the laughter that we bring, the comfort of knowing that mother is the meaning. Mother is the meaning. Mother is the meaning of love.
It is a privilege, to be able to mother someone. They don't have to be your child. You just have to be that beautiful light for a child, for an individual, right? There are many more things that we can learn. Things like it's okay to cry. It's okay. From that experience, I learned that it's okay to cry. It's okay when things feel bad or good, that we don't have to be afraid to show it. That crying actually allows people to release their feelings and hopefully achieve relief and satisfaction. It actually also sensitizes others to the individual's emotional condition, right? And encourages that other person's support. Moreover, crying has this physiological effect on the body, such as releasing neurochemicals that will help us to improve our mood. Don't be afraid to cry. And, there's an interesting incident that happened with my dad. My dad had this moment with Lydia. Lydia was throwing this tantrum, and she was, he was just in awe of this whole situation, and she wanted something, she just couldn't get it, and so the most effective way of handling that rejection was to throw a tantrum. And she rolled and rolled and rolled all over the floor, and it was just like, holy potato chips. Well, what did we learn from that? Tiny teachers, right? The teachable moment. It's like, we have to give people their space when they're throwing a fit. Don't get roped up into other people's fit. Don't take the bait. Don't get drawn in. They will never remember it the way that you do, so it's best if you just let them throw their tantrum. And just because someone is throwing a tantrum doesn't mean that we have to fix it. Give people their space in the safety of your love. Rejection hurts, right? Saying no to my daughter on that day, in that moment, rejection hurts, no matter how old we are. We need to learn how to handle no. We have to understand that no does not mean never. No does not mean that we're not good enough. It's, someone rejecting the idea of something, not the core of our beings. And we have to take a look at what is that bringing up or triggering us, about? Like, what's that no triggering? Why does it still bring up the need to throw a tantrum? What is it within us that needs to be healed? We're not always going to get what we want. Sorry. It just so happens that you're not. And just because you ask nicely doesn't mean that the world's going to be like, hey there, you got it. But one thing that I learned from this tantrum throwing by my child is that just because you throw a tantrum doesn't mean that you're going to get it either. I wanted a dollhouse as a kid, and my mom still hasn't gotten me the dollhouse. I hope she's listening today, because she still hasn't gotten me that dollhouse. And I wanted this global thing to go away in April, but here we are, and we're going back to school, and it's still there, because somehow no amount of tantrums is going to get us what we want. We do know, though, that from observing children and ourselves, that we must eventually stop the tantrum. Pull ourselves off of the ground, put ourselves together, put our emotions back together, and start making some positive changes and action towards what we actually do want. Huh? Yes, I know. So, all right, here we go. This one's called I Am Here for God. I hope you like it.
I'm here to wake up. I'm here to shake it up. May I live in authenticity. Every day I'm waking up. Every day I shake it up for the highest and best of who I'm called to be. I'm rising higher. I'm loving deeper, expanding wider. I am here for God. Lift spirits higher, connecting deeper, expanding wider. I am here for God. God in me, God as me, God through me. I am here for God. Come on now. God in me. One more time. God as me, God through me. I am here for God. I'm here to wake up. I'm here to shake it up. May I live in authenticity. Every day I'm waking up. Every day I shake it up for the highest and best of who I'm called to be. I'm rising higher and deeper. I'm rising higher. I'm loving deeper, expanding wider. I am here for God. Lift spirits higher, connecting deeper, opening wider. I am here for God.
We're going to do it again. God in me, as me, through me.
God in me, God as me, God through me. I am here for God. God in me, ooh, God as me, God through me. I am here for God. Come on again. God in me, come on now. God as me, God through me, I am here for God. Come on again. God in me, God as me, God through me. I am here for God.
All right. Children, if we observe them, children really have solved all the world's problems already. On ageism, on sexism, racism, any other ism. I mean, look at Dan from the first story. He is a senior citizen, and he may have looked disheveled. He probably was not smiling. He was a man. This is a little girl. Nora's a little tiny thing. And there's on the other news, on a different news thingy article, there's this little boy who was supposedly asked, who his best friend was. And he pointed to this little black boy, and he said that we're twins. And he said, why do you think you're twins? And he says, because he looks just like me. Children don't understand the issue adults have with color. Adults actually train children to see color as a bad thing. It's like a cat having kittens with all different patterns and telling each one of them don't love each other because your pattern, the other pattern is different. You know, children see love, they see friendship, they see someone who shares their interests, not how old we are or how many wrinkles we have or the clothing we're wearing, if it's expensive or not, about our income status. They don't care about that. They don't care about the color of our skin. They don't care about who we identify as. They don't care about our sexual preferences. They just see a person that they can love. They see a person that they can be friends with, you know? If only we would see the world through the eyes of an innocent child. So let's have a look at these tiny teachers and what they teach us. So they teach us to see the world through their eyes. Each person, like them, a twin worthy of their time, their friendship, and their love. They teach us to reach out to each other, make friends easily, you know? They teach us that it's okay to cry, to show our emotions, maybe have a tantrum, but forgive quickly and move on quickly. They teach us to always ask questions, stay curious. Knowledge is indeed power. Always choose to learn something new. They teach us to eat ice cream and be messy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with treating ourselves. And don't worry if your socks don't match. Perfection is overrated. Just be you. And of course, to finally nurture that inner child within each and every one of us, because it is still our greatest tiny teacher. Before I go, I just wanted to mention this video that we just did with a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful individual called Artemis, and it's just an absolutely beautiful video written from her heart, and we were Deja and myself and Artemis and her daughter. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of wonderful people that have been part of this beautiful project. So if you would go to www.deidrey.com/love, you will find this video there. Please have a look and share it around. It is a wonderful, beautiful, inspiring story. We've got a long way to go, but we're gonna get there if we don't give up. That's the message of that story. I thank you so much for being here. Your tips are appreciated, but they are not mandatory. Your presence here is the gift to me. And if this episode touched you in any way, please share it with someone or invite someone to the next show. And I will see you next Sunday at 1:30 for another episode of Here to Bloom. Thank you for helping me reach that milestone of 600 subscribers. I look forward to the next one of 700. Lastly, I want to leave you with a happy song in your heart and a pep in your step. Thank you for your listening ears. Thank you for your loving hearts and your open mind and your awesome light-filled presence. So stay safe, stay healthy, and please know you are loved. Let me tell you, you're loved. I am spirit-filled, renewed, and rebuilt. I've got a song in my heart. With joy I dance my part. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Got a smile on my face, and I'm ready to face the world. Here I come. Don't forget our show tonight at 7 o'clock with Noreen. Oh, woo. Here I come. Thank you so much, everybody. Woo. Here I come. I am harmonized, upgraded, and revised. I've got love in my heart and the courage to start. I am on cloud nine, one with the divine. Gratitude and grace, and I'm ready to face the world. Everybody, here I come. Come on, Ricky, let's show them that picture with Noreen. Let everybody see that concert that we're doing tonight. If you want to participate, we'd love it if you would join us. Here I come. It's a Feel the Joy dance party / workshop / concert / everything. Have fun. Oh, hi, Deidrey. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, wow. What a joy to have you. Hi, Jason. watching on television, but I can't see your comments. I just want to let you know that I'm grateful to have each and every one of you here. I love you, okay? I love you. Woo! Here I come, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Here I come, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good week. Goodbye for now.